a new kid on the block in Red Sox Nation. Behold, this slugger arriving early Wednesday morning to take the field for spring training with the Sox for the very first time.
Welcome.
Thank you.
Hello and welcome into a special pregame edition of Red Sox Now, presented by NESN.com and Boston 25. I'm your host, Michaela Vernava, and I am very excited because it's finally time for a new season of Red Sox baseball, and that includes, as we just saw, one of the biggest free agent acquisitions of the offseason, a much-needed big bat by the name of J.D. Martinez. Aaron Judge and Giancarlo Stanton, step aside. All right, maybe that's a stretch, but Boston's new power hitter does at least help even the playing field with their AL East rival New York Yankees. Martinez is coming off a 45 home run season in which he played just 119 games. At that pace, he'd hit 61 homers if he played a full 162. Now for more, let's bring in Boston 25's Butch Stearns, who is in Fort Myers. Butch, they kept us waiting long enough, but the Sox finally bolster their lineup.
Yes, Michaela, the Red Sox do finally get their man, and it does take a while. But in my opinion, and a lot of other people's opinion, it's going to be worth the wait. On Wednesday morning, just before 8 a.m., this was the video of J.D. Martinez walking into the Red Sox clubhouse for the first time as a member of the Boston Red Sox. Fans are excited about this, obviously, when the news broke on Monday night. He's a slugger that's going to be put right into the middle of this lineup. But I think we tend to forget that the players in that clubhouse are fans too. And you know what? They're pretty excited also.
You get a talented ball player like that, then obviously he's a game changer, and he's only going to make our team better. And that's what you want. You want the best opportunity to win ball games.
You know, to add a hitter like that, to your lineup, that's good, especially in this division. If the Yankees making the moves that they made this offseason, to be able to combat those moves with a guy like JD, that was a good move.
David Price had some interesting comments about Martinez. He was a teammate of his in Detroit, of course. I asked him how he thinks Martinez will adjust to Boston and if Boston will embrace him. And he said he'll be fine, just play baseball, almost like giving him advice. But he also added the comment, he's not like me. He's a quiet guy. And Price, to me, admitting that, it's been a difficult or different transition for him and shouldn't be that way for J.D. Martinez. So, Martinez is in the fold. The players are excited. It's going to be a good time for the Red Sox with him as the slugger in the middle of this lineup.
Well, Butch, here's another indication that the transition may be a whole lot easier for Martinez. Kudos to JD's sister for sharing this pic on Instagram. This was 12 years ago. Martinez celebrated his 19th birthday at Fenway Park, and as his sister points out in the caption, looked great in Sox gear even way back then. But back to present day. New manager Alex Cora delivered a message to his team before their first full squad workout, and it sounds like it resonated with the players.
He seems very open, someone you can reach to whenever you want for any type of problem, any type of situation. So I'm looking forward to building a relationship with him now that I'm in spring training, and hopefully it goes on into the season.
Yeah, I think it'll be fun. Those guys are a little younger, so Cora just got done playing, it seemed like, so they have a different view on things. So I think it'll be fun. Curious to see how things will go. I've only played under one manager, so I kind of only know one way. So I'm kind of curious to see how this way goes.
It's trusting the process, trusting what the big picture is, and knowing that if he takes me out after the 5th or 6th inning, he's not picking on me. He's trying to help. He's got a job to do too. He's managing an entire team. He's not just managing me. So he's doing what's best for the team, and I have 100% faith in our coaching staff to get this done.
Butch, it sure sounds like these guys are buying in. What has Cora been doing to win over the confidence and respect of his clubhouse?
That's a great question, Michaela, because Alex Cora is winning the respect of the players in this clubhouse. And I think it's sort of a 2 or 3 pronged answer. The answer one is that it wasn't that long ago that he was a player. So the players, the current players, respect him on that level. They know that he understands. The other thing is that Cora is a completely different vibe in this clubhouse than John Farrell was. At the end of the year last year, there was tension. Players admitted that. It was just a different vibe with John Farrell. Cora is more a player's guy. He's letting his coaches get much more involved in this. All kinds of things that you can point to in this spring training. Cora walks around, he kind of delegates. It's kind of Bill Belichickian-like in a little bit of a way, because Belichick lets his coaches and delegates to do everything, and Cora's kind of doing that here now. And again, it's a whole new coaching staff, so there's definitely a different vibe under Alex Cora. The players continue to talk about having more fun. Whether that translates into wins and losses, of course, is the big thing, and we'll see how that plays out. But clearly, Cora wants this team playing loose. He wants these guys having fun. He wants them caring about each other. And that's the vibe that he's setting down here.
Well, Butch, some guys that were pretty darn good at translating good vibes to checks in the win column paid the team a visit on Tuesday. What was the interaction like between the Red Sox legends that were down in Fort Myers and this current group of guys?
You know, Michaela, the interactions with the Red Sox legends and the current players are, in one word, awesome. I mean, as a fan sitting there watching these guys, these Red Sox legends, talk to the current young Red Sox, I mean, to me, that's baseball gold. There's always been in this organization a great job by the Red Sox of embracing their past storied players. And they're all here and hands-on. Jim Rice, of course. Rich Gedman is here. Dwight Evans is here as always. Pedro Martinez and Jason Veritek have been involved more recently as coaches. Pedro Martinez much more hands-on this camp. Also Derek Lowe showing up. Mike Lowell showing up. And those guys, at the request of Alex Cora. Cora played on a championship team in Boston. He wants some of the recent guys who have rings, who have pedigree, who've been there to pass on their knowledge, to pass on their lessons, just to be around these guys. And again, as a member of the media, as a fan of this team, to sit there and watch it, I can't get enough of that stuff. It's like baseball goals. And I got to be honest, the players love it. They really do. They're here to work. They come in. It is a work day for them. You sit back home and you watch them just playing baseball, a kid's game. But they do have to get their work in. But when a guy like Pedro stops them, when a guy like Mike Lowell stops them, they stop in their tracks. They take a deep breath. They listen to what they have to say, and it's at a whole different level than you or I, or even some coach or manager who didn't play the game. They understand that these guys have been there. And again, it's been going on in baseball forever. The Red Sox have as storied a tradition and as storied a history with great players as any team in baseball. So to me, this is a very smart thing to do. And again, it's mostly Alex Cora's idea to get them more involved.
Well, it sure sounds like they're focused, and it's great to hear that this group of guys that's relatively young across the board is responding that way to the former players. Butch, it's been great talking with you. Thanks.
All right, Michaela, good talking to you. It should be a fun season, and it's all kicking off right away.
Now, speaking of the Sox being a young group, at 34 years old, Dustin Pedroia is the oldest active Red Sox player and the bona fide leader of this team. But the Sox youth are certainly not inexperienced anymore. After all, 25-year-old Xander Bogaerts did help the Sox win their last World Series 5 years ago. So there's no shortage of leadership qualities in this year's clubhouse.
I feel like it's a natural thing. You don't want to learn and then become something that you're not. That's okay if you're not a leader. But we still need you in the clubhouse, you know. So some guys are, some guys aren't. I think as the younger guys get older, those positions will be filled just naturally.
Pretty laid back, you know, pretty quiet. He's not you know, like a Dustin Pedroia type of guy, like a guy that gives us a lot of energy, but he'll probably do that with a bat for us.
Who is a Dustin Pedroia type guy other than Dustin Pedroia?
Maybe Brock Holt, I would say. You know, Brock is kind of like that guy. But
Are you?
No, there's only one Pedroia, man. He's different. He's special.
I know David's gone, but you know, when Tech was done, we were okay. You know, and because he built that into David, and David's built that into me to where, you know, I got to do a better job of finding a way to get everybody to realize that it's not one guy, it's everybody. And that's, after thinking about it, that's what it is. You know, it's not, you know, we need one leader or you know, one guy on the pitching staff and one guy in the, no, we need everybody. And that's what it takes to win at this level and in this environment is for everybody to come together and take responsibility and doing it together.
Here's a rare behind-the-scenes look. Bet you didn't know Bogarts is not only a shortstop sensation, but also potentially America's next top model. Actually looks like a lot of the Red Sox players can really get it in front of a lens. Work it, okay. Cheese in, love the poses. And speaking of modeling, look at this hair flip. Brock Holt got some serious flow and really working it in front of the camera. I love it. And also working it, flexing for the camera, Hanley and let's call this Benny Biceps. And Dustin Pedroia got some time in, playing with his kids. Hanley Ramirez even joined in on the fun. And ping pong in the clubhouse. They're having way too much fun down there. I'm jealous. All right, it's not all fun and games down there. Here's a look at breakfast with Porcello. While you were getting some extra shut-eye on President's Day, the pitcher was putting in work in the wee hours of daybreak. And between Porcello, Sale, Price, Pomerantz, and Rodriguez, the Sox have the potential to have one of the best rotations in the big leagues.
You know, you make 30 starts and throw 200 innings. You know, there's a lot of bulk that comes with that. I just think, like I said, we need to work on some things right now in spring training, and then maybe early on in the year, to maintain. And I think, like I said before, we're kind of on that track right now. And like I said, just having faith and trust in that process and everyone involved in that process.
It's pretty straightforward. You know what you're gonna get. If you go out there and you pitch well, you play well, you're gonna have the support. And that's something I've said for a very long time. It's something I took from James Shields. If you don't like it, pitch better. And that's always the motto. Whether you're going good or whether you're going bad, you can always make things better by pitching better, and that's what I gotta do. Just go out there and throw the ball the way that I've thrown the ball before I've gotten to Boston, and I look forward to doing that.
That just about does it for this pregame edition of Red Sox Now. Big thanks again to Boston 25's Butch Stearns for joining us. Enjoy the game, and for all your Red Sox coverage, be sure to stay with NESN.com and Boston 25.